The day began with the usual Delhi hustle, streets filled with the sounds of honking cars, the aroma of street food, and the bright sunlight filtering through a slight haze. Today, I was about to explore one of India's most iconic monuments, the Red Fort. As I approached the fort, its imposing red sandstone walls immediately caught my attention. Rising majestically against the skyline, the fort stood as a testament to Delhi's rich history. I could sense the grandeur of the Mughal Empire long before I even stepped inside. After passing through the towering Lahori Gate, I found myself in the Chata Chowk, an arched arcade bustling with vendors selling souvenirs. The lively atmosphere made me imagine what it must have been like centuries ago when merchants sold their wares here to Mughal nobles. Moving forward, I entered the Nabat Khana, the drum house, where musicians used to announce the arrival of emperors. As I stood there, the thought of Mughal royalty being heralded by the rhythmic beats of drums filled me with awe. The Diwan-i-Am was my next stop, a stunning hall with rows of pillars where the emperor would address the common people. As I walked through it, I could almost visualize Emperor Shah Jahan sitting on the marble throne, hearing petitions from his subjects. From there, I made my way to the Diwan-i-Khas, where the emperor met his nobles and ministers. The delicate inlay work, once encrusted with gems, spoke of the lavishness of the Mughal court. The famous Persian inscription, "If there is a paradise on earth, it is here, it is here, it is here," felt fitting. Wandering deeper into the fort, I found myself at the Rang Mahal, the Palace of Colors. Its beautiful arches and water channels painted a picture of the opulence in which the royal women lived. It was easy to imagine the vibrant hues that must have once filled the space. The peaceful atmosphere of the Moti Masjid, a private mosque built by Aurangzeb, gave me a moment of quiet reflection. Its pristine white marble stood in contrast to the red sandstone of the fort, adding a sense of serenity to the bustling complex. One of the highlights of my visit was exploring the gardens. The Halat Baksh Bagh, or the life-bestowing garden, with its carefully designed waterways and pavilions, gave me a glimpse into the Mughals' love for nature and beauty. I could see how it must have been an oasis of tranquility. As I roamed the expansive grounds, I came across the remnants of British colonial influence, including barracks and offices they built when the fort was used as a military garrison. It was a stark reminder of how this monument has witnessed layers of history. The architectural brilliance of the fort left me spellbound, but it was the stories hidden within the walls that fascinated me most. From the Mughal emperors who ruled in splendor to the British who took control, each stone seemed to whisper a piece of India's past. As the sun began to set, the Red Fort glowed in a warm orange hue. I took a moment to sit on a bench and soak in the atmosphere. The day had passed quickly, and yet I felt as though I had been transported through centuries of history. Before leaving, I attended the light and sound show, which beautifully narrated the fort's history. With the fort illuminated and the voices recounting the tales of emperors and conquerors, it was the perfect ending to my visit. Walking out of the Lahori Gate, I turned back for one last look at the Red Fort. It stood there, stoic and silent, as it has for centuries, guarding the stories of India's rise and fall. As I made my way back into the modern streets of Delhi, I realized that while the city outside had changed dramatically, within the Red Fort, time had seemingly stood still, preserving the grandeur and history for generations to come.